Right, welcome back everyone. See a few people moving around, doing whatever, breathing hopefully. So now we've got Tim here. Let me try pronouncing Tim Vandervliet.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Nice, okay, working on my Dutch, not quite there yet.
Yeah.
So teacher, you're author of books on, I guess, spirituality, parenthood. You have 4 children, I believe. You run an auction desk at a hedge fund, and you're just a complete badass breath worker trained by Wim Hof. What have I missed? I'm sure there's a few things.
Well, it's almost right. I'm actually I'm a mother of 5 kids. It's not like Judith, 8 kids, but I'm a mother of 5. I just have a new baby, and so I do a lot of breathing. If I can't sleep, and I actually formed my own investment fund now. So I'm like with 2 feet in a kind of financial corporate world, and with 2 feet instructor breath world. Traveling the world up to end of March, like all over the world to teach in the weekends. And like my investment fund doesn't take a lot of time, so it's a few hours per day. So that's the cool thing about algorithmic trading. You don't have to think anymore. I just love that.
Yeah, nice. And I think I've got to put some algorithms in place to ensure that I update my info on you. Can't have you only having 4 children. You've got 5. You've got some stuff.
Yeah, the last one is born like 5 weeks ago. So whenever you tell me, I go ahead, right?
Yeah, we can go straight into things.
Yeah, shall I start?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Steve and Mark and the Embodiment Conference. You guys are doing amazing work. This is like a really amazing day. And also for people, like I have so-called experience, I just love it, like I'm learning a lot and seeing all these big speakers and breath coaches. So thank you, first of all. Okay, so while, people are coming back, let me get to the boring stuff first. So my name is Tim. I was just introduced by Steve. It's true, I have an investment fund that gets me to practice what I preach, because a lot of breath work is about stress relief. We're going to talk about that a little bit as well. And, I can practice my own lessons in my financial job, basically. I'm a father of 5. This is also, bringing enough stress. And I'm very much with Kathleen, who said like she didn't have the words for breathing exercises because it's just amazing. You can use it to get over your burnout, for example, but you can also use it to get more stuff done. Like that's what I'm using it for. Now I'm an instructor in the Wim Hof Method and a personal friend of Wim as well. So first of all, credits go to Wim because he introduced me to this stuff. And if you want to know more about this breathing technique, you can go to wimhofmethod.com. He has like a free online course and paid course and stuff like that. And I'm sure you're going to share like my stuff also later, Steve. So first, the anti-indicators, like the breathing techniques that we're going to do. And I'm going to talk a little bit about also what happens in our body, like the physiology / science of what happens in our body. But the anti-indicators are, maybe you've heard it before, if you're pregnant, please just refrain from this breathing technique. 2 breathing techniques we're going to do. If you have epilepsy, same story. And if you have like a high heart disease, heart risk, like join in lightly, but maybe just skip it as well. All right. Then I would like to talk a little bit about the science of breathing in general, or more like how our body is working on the inside. But before that, I'm not a doctor. Okay, I don't have any credentials when it comes to, having any authority on this field. I have, I have a master in economy, so I know how to read statistics, and that's it. But I am a total nerd, and I see myself as the know-nothing teacher. Yeah, I think it always goes wrong if you think that you understand everything. We never can. It's never black or wide. You know, like for example, nose breathing. I'm a fan of nose breathing, but doesn't mean that you always have to nose breathe. Then you wouldn't do transformational breath, which is mouth in, mouth out. There's no black or white. There's only one big gray area where we're all playing in. And I'm just finding out things. So, you know, like, please let me know if you know something that I don't, and just leave anything in the chat and I will get back to as much as possible. Now, let's go into, you know, like maybe 5 minutes or so, but how does our nervous system look like? And I'm going to share a little sheet with you, which I'm doing right now. Here it is. Okay, look, this is our nervous system. And it consists of two things, central nervous system, peripheral nervous system. Now, we're not focusing on the central nervous system, which consists of the brain and the spinal cord, but we are focusing on the peripheral nerve system. Now, you can subdivide the peripheral nerve system in the somatic and the autonomic. And just as a matter of speech, it's not like completely correct, but the somatic is about movement. It's like our conscious nervous system. Yeah, so I miss my mother, I pick up my phone to call her, or I feel thirsty, so I grab a glass of water. Yeah, it's conscious. Also a bit outer world, I call it. And then the autonomic nervous system is that part of our body where the average doctor would say, like, if you want to influence your autonomic nerve system, you need to take drugs. And this is what research, you know, with Wim has shown, that we are able to influence our autonomic nerve system at will and to our benefit. Now, what are examples of the autonomic nerve system? For example, our digestive system is completely autonomic. The opening and widening of our blood vessels, you know, the release of hormones, all that stuff, you know, inflammation, all those things. Now, the breath, as you know, is also fully autonomic, right? I mean, you don't have to think about breathing, and if you sleep, you don't die, you know, like this is very basic, I know. But we can consciously change the breathing at will. Like, we can do that in 3 ways. There's more ways, but the 3 main things we can do to change our breathing is slow down our breathing. This has an immediate calming effect. Speeding up our breathing, breathe deeper, maybe faster, more like transformational, or what Dan Brulé will do like later today. And we have the breath hold. Yeah, so these really simple tools, through consciously changing our breathing in any of these 3 ways, we have a direct effect on the autonomic nerve system. Now, the autonomic nerve system is, again, subdivided in the sympathetic and the parasympathetic nervous system. And so I have one more sheet just to show you if that works. Ah, there it is. So you don't have to read this all, but parasympathetic on the left side is also called the rest and digest. If you calm down your breathing, you're activating the parasympathetic and you become calmer. Now, the sympathetic is the opposite, is like the stress, but also the energy, you know, fight or flight, it's also called. Now, for example, just to name one, you know, like if we are too stressed out, our digestive system, which is parasympathetic, doesn't work properly. So if you're always living in a high adrenaline state, you can get gut problems simply because not enough energy is going into your calming rest and digest states, so it doesn't work properly. On the other hand, if you're like parasympathetic only, you know, you might be procrastinating, that nothing comes out of your hands, you know, like out of your hands. It's too much to write 1 email per day, for example. So my wish, both for myself, this is what I'm continuously busy with, you know, where am I now? Along the path of parasympathetic and sympathetic. And the breathing techniques, we're going to do 2, will will help you get into the middle. Yeah, so, well, let's go into these breathing techniques. So let me close this off so you can see me again. And, you know, I can share this later. You can always contact me in any way, Instagram, Facebook, email, whatever, and I will get back to your questions. So we're going to do 2 breathing sessions. One is very much Wim Hof based, but not a Wim Hof method breathing technique. This is what I made of it and what I use in public spaces. Now, I don't claim to be anywhere in life, but what is very good in my life that I don't wait anymore. Because every time, like the train, the tram is coming in 3 minutes, I have, you know, like 1 short breathing round. And this is something that, so the breathing technique we're going to do first is something you can use in public spaces, right? So you don't ever have to wait anymore. And just imagine a life without waiting on one hand, but also using the dead moments in your life for your personal training. This is definitely going to make life better. Now, there's one important thing when you breathe in public spaces. You don't want to make too much noise because people freak out completely. Yeah, so take it easy when it comes to breathing in public spaces. So let me first explain what you can feel so you know what is normal. Then I will explain the breathing technique, the public spaces breathing technique. And then after that, we go into the Wim Hof Method Breathing, all right? Okay, cool. So what is normal to feel is tingling sensations, hands, skin, anywhere in your body, like my right arm is sleeping, whatever, it's very normal. Dizziness can be, you know, is what a lot of people experience. And it is also possible to get into a cramp. So that means that your hands are going like this, or you feel it around the mouth. It starts normally around the mouth. So you don't, it will probably not happen because we're going to keep it quite lightly, you know, like you're breathing the rest of your life. So, you know, like we're going to take it a little bit easy. Having said that, you know, like you can feel all these things, but first of all, trust your own body before you trust me. If I'm saying like, breathe another 20 times and breathe in deeper and whatever I say, and you feel very overwhelmed or uncomfortable, just skip around. You're breathing the rest of your life. You're not missing anything if you skip around, all right? Okay, so the first technique is called TT breathing. Very, it comes from, that's my cat, by the way. I have a cat too, Kathleen. Kathleen, now I get it. Of course, you like cats. Okay, the 10 times breathing, it consists of 3 phases. First, we breathe deeper for 10 times. Then we breathe in, we hold it for a few counts, I will guide you. And then we breathe out and we hold it there for, you know, as long as you can, or when I ask you to breathe in again. So phase 1, 10 times breathing deeper. First to the belly, then to the chest. You've heard it before. Then we take a deep breath in. Phase 2 is like the breath hold. We hold our breath, breathe out, and hold our breath again. And then phase 3, we call that the recovery breath, is take a deep breath in and to hold it for 15 counts. All right? One of these rounds takes like 2.5 minutes. And as you know, you understood from Steve and what I said, like I have a pretty busy life. So I don't always have 20 minutes or 30 minutes time in the morning, but I always have 5 minutes. You know, that's just a choice. So one of these 10 times breathing is taking 2.5 minutes. So we're going to do 2 rounds. And then we go into the Wim Hof Method Breathing. Let me explain it already, and I will repeat it also afterwards, you know, so I will guide you anyway, so you don't have to remember everything that I say. Wim Hof breathing, also 3 phases. It's a little bit simpler. 30 times breathing, deep in, belly, chest, breath out, let it go. Then we breathe out about 70% and hold our breath. Now, when you do this by yourself, you hold your breath as long as you can, but we're in a group, so I'm gonna guide you there. Then the third part is exactly the same. We take a deep breath in and we hold it for 15 counts, all right? So, as I just said, there's 3 ways of consciously changing your breathing. Now, as you notice, is that, so it's breathing slower, holding the breath, breathing deeper. As you notice, is like you will see that any breathing technique is 1 or 2 of these 3, but the Wim Hof method and this TT technique is a technique that is breathing deeper and then holding the breath. But the result will be that you breathe slower. And breathing slow is like, I live by these 2 words, breathe slowly. You can instantly relieve stress, by slowing down your breathing. So make yourself as comfortable as you can. And close your eyes. We're gonna start, and this is just to check in with our own body, with 3 extreme slow breaths. Nose in and mouth out. So go ahead as slow as you can. Nose in. And then like 2, 3 times longer out through the mouth. Notice how you start feeling your body more immediately. Thoughts go down, body intelligence goes up. 2 more, as slow as you can. We're going to do this after the few rounds of breathing that we're doing. We're going to do this again so you can check the difference for yourself. So you can check if this works for you or not. Last breath, slowly in. And completely out. Now we're going to take 10 deep breaths. Please follow me. Nose in, mouth out. Focus on breathing in deep. Breath out, let it go. Five more. Last one, extra deep. And then we breathe in to hold. So take a deep breath in, hold your breath. Hold it here. Relax your jaws. And let go, breathe out, and then hold it after breathing out everything. So breath hold here. Let's breathe in together and hold for 15 counts. Here we go. Fully in. Hold. Five more counts. And let go. Now, the good thing is in life, you always have to do twice. So let's do another one of these breathing techniques. Start breathing deeper, 10 times deep in and out. Close your eyes if you want. Five more. Last one, fully in, everything out. Breathe in to hold. Hold it here. Notice these sensations that are coming up. It can be anything from tingling sensations to dizziness to emotions. Just let every emotion or sensation be and try not to think anything of it, please. Now breathe out and hold at the end of your breath. If you do this alone, you hold it till the end. For now, I will guide you. Hold it a bit longer if you can. Let's breathe in and hold for 15 counts. Fully in. Hold. Five more counts. And let go. Now, let me shortly recap the Wim Hof Method Breathing. And for you, please go to that slow breathing, please. So just slow down your breathing as much as you can. And you can already feel the difference, how you feel now, with like 5 minutes ago. We did 5 minutes of breathing only, all right? All right. Now the Wim Hof breathing, same. Breathing phase 30 times deeper in, focus on breathing in, breath out, letting it go. Then phase 2, breath hold, we breathe out 70%, and we're going to hold it for first round 1 minute, round 2 and 3, 1.5 minutes. And if there's a round 4, I'm pretty sure that we keep it in 3 rounds. So we're going to do 1 minute, 1.5 minutes, and then round number 3, 2.5 minutes. Now, if you cannot hold your breath that long, totally fine, of course, you know, like there's no competition when it comes to breathing. So around phase 2 is the breath hold after breathing out. Phase 3 is the same, recovery breath, breathe in, hold for 15 counts. All right? So make yourself ready. We're going to do 3 rounds. Breathing phase, 30 times breathing. Start breathing already, deeply in. Fully in. Let it go. Breathe belly first, then chest. Breath out, let it go. Focus on breathing in deeper. And breath out, let it go. Please keep on breathing while I talk. Maybe you find my pace a little bit too slow. You can speed it up as long as the depth of your breath comes first. You want to breathe deep. Maybe you find that I go too fast, then slow it down. You know, you're the captain in your body. This is your breath. So feel free to adjust. Let's do 20 more breaths, and then we're going for our first breath hold. Keep on breathing deep. Fully in. Letting go. Energy in. Release the toxins. Breathe in. Nice. Keep on breathing. Welcome all these sensations in your body. Breathe in. Let it go. Fully in. Let go of toxins. Going great. Let's do 10 more. So try to breathe in a little bit deeper. But if you feel overwhelmed, feel free to already breathe and hold your breath. Here we go. 8 more. Nice. Looking good. 5 more. And dizzy is good. So keep on breathing. Okay, last breath, fully in. Release 70%. And hold your breath. And we're going to do 1 minute here. And it reminds me that I forgot to say something very important. You always have to make sure you're safe. Yeah, so you feel maybe a little bit dizzy now. And there's a very slight chance, but there is a chance that you may like lose it for a bit. So never ever do this breathing while you drive a car, while you are in the water, while you're juggling knives, or while you're using heavy machinery, things like that. You have heard it before also in this breathing technique. Another 30 seconds. If you feel you want to breathe in again, please take a deep breath in and hold for about 15 counts. All right? We're going to hold our breath for another like 25 seconds. Focus on the feeling you have in your body. Cleaning up our mind and our body. Almost 1 minute. Let's breathe in together and hold for 15 counts. Here we go. Fully in. Hold. Another 5 counts. Hold it a little bit longer. And let it go. Okay. Immediately, let's go into round 2. Start breathing deeper already. Fully in. And let it go. Keep on breathing in your own pace as long as you focus on breathing in deeper, breath out, just let it go. Now, if you're used to pranayama, some pranayama techniques are focused on breathing out and the breath in goes automatically. And every breathing technique is just a little bit different. And you know what? They're all beautiful. You know, they're all amazing. Just keep on breathing fully in. And let go. Another 20 times. Through letting go of your breath out, release your jaws. Yeah, we hold a lot of energy there. Just let go of everything you don't need and keep on breathing fully in and breath out, let it go. Another 15 times. Keep on going, please. 10 more. Keep on breathing deep. Welcome those sensations that you get into your body, whatever it is. It may be joy, it may be sadness, it may be tingling sensations, it may be dizziness, you may feel cold, you may feel warm, it really doesn't matter. Just accept anything that is happening. Your body is taking over control, so try not to think too much about it. Last 5 times, fully in. Last one, fully in as deep as you can. Breathe out 70% and hold your breath. Hold it here. I will get to your questions in a bit. Now we're holding our breath here for 1.5 minutes. Feel that silence that you're in. So much silence that you even don't need to breathe. If you feel you want to breathe in, of course, go ahead. Breathe in deep, hold it for 15 counts. And if you want, you can already go and start breathing deeper for the last round that we're doing. We're doing another 45 seconds or so. If this is very easy for you, maybe you want to breathe out that residual air. In the end of our breath hold, we have like a small moment of a very low oxygen and high CO2. This is called a state of hypoxia. And this is where our kidneys release a hormone that is called EPO, and EPO is responsible for making more red blood cells. Yeah, so having that temporal state of hypoxia is very healthy. So don't worry about breathing and holding your breath too long. We're almost 1.5 minutes. So let's take the recovery breath together. Fully in and hold 15 counts. Hold it there. Another 5 counts, a little bit longer. And let it go. Okay, round 3 and the last round already. Please start breathing deeper. Fully in. Let it go. 30 breaths, just deep in. This breathing technique is very accessible. It doesn't matter, you cannot do it wrong. Breathe in as deep as you can and breathe out, let it go. And fully in and let it go. Doing great, just keep on breathing. Twenty times more, then we're going for our last breath hold. So please keep on breathing. When we breathe out at 70%, really don't worry about it. If you do 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 93%, just do whatever feels good. You know, like what is helping this breathing technique, but all the others too, is to get more into our body. Let your body decide what comes up as you're breathing. Breathe out fully, breathe out 50%. That's what you want. Let's do another 20 breaths. Fully in, deeper in. Focus on breathing in deep. Get the oxygen in. Breathe out, release the toxins. As other instructors are saying too, 70% of our toxins are released by our breath out. Yeah, so if you lose weight, you breathe it out. So keep on breathing. Let's do another 10 times. Last 10, and then we go for our last breath hold. Last 5. Deep in. Let go. You cannot do it wrong. Keep on breathing. Another 3. Fully in. And let it go. 2. Last 1. Fully in. Breathe out. Whatever you feel like, about 70%, and hold your breath. Now, I'm gonna do 2.5 minutes, but just try to hold your breath as long as you can. If it's your time to breathe in again, take a deep breath in, hold for 15 counts, and then after that, keep your eyes closed and slow down your breathing like we did already 2 times before. The key to stress relief is slow breathing. For now, keep on holding your breath. Feel your body. Feel how your blood, the energy, is moving around. And whatever you feel, trust it. Your body is taking over. Our bodies are much more intelligent than our minds. If we leave it to our body, we will be fine, both individually as well as collectively. Try to hold your breath for as long as you can. If it's your time to breathe, take a full breath in, hold with full lungs for 15 counts, and after that, just breathe slowly. Notice where you feel it in your body. And what you feel, it doesn't matter. It can be tingling sensations, dizziness, warm, cold. You can trust this process. Your body's taking over. All right, we're at 2 minutes. If you're still holding your breath, good for you. If you're done, please breathe slowly and wait a little bit for everybody to be ready. All right, time to breathe in. Here we go, fully in and hold. Here we go. Another 5 counts. 2, 1. Please breathe out. Now, this is an important part, I feel personally. A few very slow breaths. So notice the difference. Notice how you feel now and how you felt like 20 minutes, half an hour ago. Fully in, through the nose, as slow as you can, and out through the mouth, like 2, 3, maybe 4 times longer. Go ahead, whenever you're ready. Last one for me, as slow as you can. And fully out. Then, this is an amazing moment to take some more time to meditate. So don't feel guilty if you don't wave at me or you don't leave a comment in the chat section. If you want to meditate, please do so. You've just released dopamine that has the ability to slow down our thinking, to get more into our body. So an absolute amazing moment to go into your meditation. And I believe we have like another like 8 minutes left or so. So I will get to some of your, okay, I see the first one. What about swallowing? Well, saliva production is parasympathetic. It's a sign that you're calming down. So if you have like a lot of saliva production, it means that you have just calmed down. So good for you. Thank you. Greets from Belgium, greets from Amsterdam. Thank you for all the compliments. Yeah, that is always nice to hear. Okay, I have a message here from Sonia. I often start getting some pain or sensations or irritation in the nerves of the top of my back and spine when doing breathing practices. I think this might be linked to fibromyalgia. I don't know what that is, but do you think that means it's a bad sign? It's a process in my body. Very good question, Sonia. It can be both. So first a question back. If you're breathing, like we want to breathe as deep as possible, but if I breathe and like use my shoulders like all the way, I actually tense up during the breathing. So as long as your shoulders stay low and you really use your belly and your chest, it is just a process in your body. Trust it. And if it is too overwhelming, you don't have to do like 30 times breathing. You can also do 10 times breathing or 20 times breathing. All right? Well, yawning, another message, is a clear sign that you're calming down. You're going parasympathetic. Another question, why exhale 70% rather than fully? This is just Wim Hof Method. I don't know. There's no like answer to that. That makes sense. So thank you for your question, but I don't know the answer. Could you please repeat how the kidneys are involved in the counteract hypoxia? Okay, very good question, Andreas from the UK. And Hungary? Okay. So when we breathe deeper in the breathing phase, what is actually happening is like we fill our bloodstream, we breathe out the CO2. This is why in the breath hold, you can hold your breath longer. And so we breathe out the CO2, boom, and then we hold our breath and it slowly goes up again. Now what happens to the oxygen in the breath hold? It goes down, of course, because your cells are using oxygen. In the end, it goes like a little bit low. If you would use an oximeter, it can go as low as 50%. Now, if you're in a hospital, below 90%, you already have serious problem. But this is temporal. It's called a temporal state of hypoxia. And there's a Nobel Prize given to how healthy this is. I don't know the names of the research, but if you Google hypoxia Nobel Prize, I'm sure you get there. The state of hypoxia is where there's low oxygen, high CO2. So you could say that this breathing technique is much like going for interval training, running, walking, intense, breathing faster and deeper, breath hold, slowing it down, going into parasympathetic. When we run, we actually go into the sympathetic, into fight or flight, or adrenaline is produced. Now, always running is completely unhealthy, but having a running practice, what happens with our heartbeat when we run, it goes up. But if you run a lot, you have a lower heartbeat. Now, the same goes for breathing techniques. My 2 words I live by are breathe slowly. While these breathing techniques, they begin and end with breathing slowly, but it's more about breathing deeper and holding our breath. What is this about? It's exactly the same as building up a running practice, where during the running you have a high heartbeat. A high heartbeat always is, of course, unhealthy, but because it's temporal and you take your rest afterwards, you will have a lower heartbeat. By doing these breathing techniques, you will have a slower breath. Less breathing per minute. And that is what makes you healthy. Okay, back to the kidneys. In this state of hypoxia, our kidneys recognize there's not enough oxygen in our blood, and they release hypoxia hormones And one of them is called EPO, and that is responsible for making more red blood cells. So this is why it's highly advisable to do a breathing technique like this every day. So you build up your red blood cell count. Now, how this connects to COVID, I don't know, but it could work. You know, I'm not claiming that this is the cure, but there's a lot of anecdotal evidence of if you have like respiratory problems, to breathing techniques and do those breathing techniques that fit you. It doesn't have to be per se these ones. Okay, another question. And Steve, you're going to cut me off, right, in time. I had a bittersweet taste in my mouth at some stage. This is a Tan Diwe. You know, since the breathing, the respiratory system is in the oldest part of our brain, say like simply said, I'm oversimplifying things, but in the unconscious or the autonomic part of our brain, basically anything can happen. So I would say it doesn't mean anything. Thank you. Okay, another question. I get panically on the breath out, breath hold after breathing out, and cannot hold for long at all. Will this improve with practice? Yes, it will. Any breathing techniques for younger children? That's a very, very good question because I have a few, you know, I have like from 1 month to 21 in all sexes. And so, you know, like I got a bunch. What I do personally, those 3 times slow breathing, that is what I do with little kids. Because if you tell a 6-year-old, you cannot do this in the bathtub, you know, what will they do? You know, so personally, I focus on slowing down the breathing as much as you can. And the way I do this is actually in the bathtub, you know, like a 3-year-old. You let them hold their breath and they can hold their breath for, say, 20 seconds underwater. And then you let them breathe slowly. Yeah, so what is happening, you're activating the parasympathetic, your blood pressure goes down, adrenaline level goes down, you use less oxygen. So within 3 times breathing, very slowly, and you see this little, you know, like child, like, it's so cute. And after that, if they hold their breath again underwater, they can hold their breath for a minute. But up to 12, I stick to that very simple technique because you cannot tell a child, don't do this, you know, like it doesn't work. And from 12, you can say like, listen, man, if you do this in the bathtub, you die, okay? So don't. You know, they're more responsible for themselves. I hope this answered your question. I'm gonna skim through the rest because there's a lot of questions. Nose in, nose out. Please go to my YouTube channel. I have a lot of videos about that. You know, as a default, nose in, nose out, and belly breathing. But then, you know, like more detoxing is nose in, mouth out, mouth in, mouth out. If you have not enough air, or you want to have like a very much more of a sensation of the dizzy feeling or the high, getting high in your own supply. Feeling. Okay, Shani, question. I've seen strong pink to purple, deep blue colors whilst in it. Any insight and explanation to this? And also felt I could look inside my head and that space grew bigger like behind the third eye. Wow, that's amazing. Some people see colors, some people see sounds. In the more intense breathing techniques, you know, like I'm doing next Sunday, I'm doing like a 3-hour online training with an intense round 2. Some people pop out and speak to their dead grandfather, you know, like, so anything can happen. Just trust one thing, trust your body, because your body is so much more intelligent than whatever we think of it. We don't have to explain everything. It sounds like you enjoyed it, Shani. Thank you, that is very good.
Thank you, Tim.
Yeah, it's fine. All right.
I've shared your links there in the chat so everyone can get in contact, follow you up.
Okay, cool.
I'm not sure if I've missed anything, but that's everything. I think YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, everything there. So guys, please save those and head on there so you can check out Tim. thank you, Tim, again. That was an incredible session. And I appreciate with breathwork, I can actually join in a little bit at times too. So great. Thanks. And one final sentence before I tell everyone to get right away from the computer.
From me to you.
If you want to share one final sentence.
Yes, I would like to, we miss oxytocin because we don't hug each other so much. That's the cool thing of having 5 kids. I'm really not a lot alone. But please be aware how we connect with like over 400, 500 people in this world together, breathing together. This is energetically just so beautiful. And if I should want to visualize it, it's like this golden network around the globe of people with the same mindset, the same heart, doing the same practice. And thank you for just joining in. You're a hero for showing up here.
Thank you, Tim.
Thank you so much. A lot of people don't know this, but people asked me during the first embodiment conference, how did you get the energy to get through it? And I answered them, I'm a megalomaniac. No, it was the Wim Hof method that Tim taught me that I was doing every single day, energizing myself. And yeah, that was definitely a factor for energizing me through what was a really big event. So, I still use it regularly. So thank you, Tim.
Thank you, man.
Hello to the strange teenager in the hoodie who looks like he's going to go rob a house. So I want 20% of all the gold you steal. Okay, so we've got a chance to break away from the screen now. This is a good chance to take a break. If you'd prefer to sort of stay and chat shit, we might just be having a little social party here for 5 minutes, but there won't be any more questions for Tim or breathwork official stuff, so you won't be missing out. So you've got a few minutes if you want to break before the next session, or feel free to stay and hang out here. The breakout rooms aren't working today, right, Steve?
I've just tried reopening. They look like they might possibly be, but I'm not sure. Zoom's telling me they might.
Give it a try. Give it a try. Do like large groups.
Yeah, got it. Large groups if it works. Yeah, no one's joining, so.
They're not working. Oh no, the number's going down. I think maybe people just come to the end of the session. Okay, I would like to hear from some random people. If you know how to electronically raise your hand, please electronically raise your hand. We're big on community and not just sort of, talking at people here. So it'd be nice to hear from some members of the community who aren't, who aren't breathwork teachers. I know none of you are normal people, so I won't ask for that. But civilians, non-teachers, put your hand up electronically. We'll give you a minute each just to sort of say, hey, how's it going? How's your breathwork day going? Okay, is it Sophia? You are up first. Hello.
Hello.
Hey, you need to speak a bit louder.
Can you hear?
I can just about hear you. You're quiet voice.
Okay. And now?
Just about. Where are you in the world?
I'm in Thailand, on the island Kopangan, in the south of Thailand. And I wanted to thank everyone for this day. It's been so amazing to join you all. I feel so blessed.
You're welcome. What's your first language?
Russian.
Спасибо. Okay. Я очень хорошо говорю по-русски, дорогая. Okay, спасибо, София. И что еще?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Somebody else. Rumors that I used to be a spy, totally not true. Martial arts, Russian, all the rest of it, totally not true. Someone else would like to say hello, just raise your hand. Sophia has raised her hand. Someone else, raise your hand. Just be nice to sort of hear how you're doing, how's your day going.